Hi, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this short video. I know if you're anything like me with kids and just busy life, it's so hard to get a second to really sit down and focus on anything. So I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to what I have to say about the 60-day challenge. And so I can really share with you, my heart and passion for these groups and what it really has done in my life. So kind of giving a little bit of back history about me, I did not grow up in any kind of activities. I was not a sports person. I had participated in softball a little bit growing up, but it was not something that I really was interested in. And I also did not grow up in a family that focused a lot on nutrition or health. And so this concept of health and fitness was very foreign to me growing up. And, being tall, I'm 5'10", I always really felt uncomfortable in my skin because I was always kind of thick. And, growing up, I really had accepted the fact that I was never going to be, thin or just like all the other girls that I had hung out with. And it very quickly became a self-esteem issue as I grew up. And once I, grew up and got married and had children, that is when my weight really started catching up with me, and I realized that I was going to have to do something, or I was really going to be in a lot of trouble as far as my weight. And so I would, occasionally join the gym. I'd get these, itches to start, being healthy, and I'd go on this health kick and go on a diet and go to the gym, and I would perhaps, get on the elliptical or maybe lift some weights. But I didn't have the knowledge or the interest to really get any kind of results. So, I would lose 10 pounds and then I would quit or I would fall off. And I would do this, roller coaster dieting, for years. And it wasn't until I had my second son that I knew that if I didn't do something serious, I was going to be extremely heavy for forever. And I remember one, evening specifically after I'd had my second son that I had looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. The second pregnancy, after having two C-sections was not very forgiving on my body. And it had caused a lot of, significant self-esteem issues because for the first time in my life, I hated what I saw when I looked in the mirror. I'd always been, sturdy, what I called myself. But for the first time, I had cellulite, that wrapped around all of my legs. My stomach was just pouring over my pants, nothing fit, and I just hated the way I looked. And I knew that I had to do something different. And so for the first time, I really made some serious changes in my life, and I started running, which is something that I'd never done. I'd actually, talked bad about people, not talked bad about, but, just really, had a negative opinion of running in general and just people that worked out all the time. But I knew that if I wanted to get results, I was going to have to do something different. And so I started running through the Couch to 5K program, and I was able to lose about 45 pounds doing that. And even though I was very close to my goal weight, I still did not have the results that I really was aiming for. I really had pushed my body beyond, limits that I had ever done before, but I still wasn't content. And so I was presented with the opportunity to join my coach, Kristen, in a 60-day challenge. Doing P90X and drinking Shakeology. And this was something very foreign to me. I had barely heard of P90X. I had no idea what Shakeology was. And I was a little skeptical, for the price. I was a little nervous about what it was going to do for me. But after talking to my husband and, praying about, if this was going to be a good decision for me, I decided to say yes and join her on this fitness journey. And getting into it right away, I was scared to death. I was scared of P90X, and the only reason why I purchased it was because it was the only program that I had even heard of. And I remember looking at the packet and thinking, there is no way in the world that I'm going to be able to do this. But I plugged in the program, and I did it. I worked my way, through the first workout, and I tried the Shakeology, and it was delicious. I loved it. And slowly but surely, I started working my way through the program and learning, what it really took to live a healthy lifestyle. And I learned that it wasn't all about giving up everything that I loved, but it was just finding a balance between the things that I love, and also, working towards my goals. And so, being in this 60-day challenge, really was a huge eye opener for me. It educated me, as far as what to eat or what not to eat. And it also was just the accountability. I knew that if I, ate that pizza or had the extra desserts, that I was going to have to share with my other challengers who were also on this journey with me. And so it kind of gave me that extra bit of motivation to pass, not all the time, but to make sure that I wasn't doing it all the time and getting back into bad habits. And over time, the people in my challenge group really became my family. They were the ones that were working through the challenge with me. We were doing it together. We were encouraging each other and sharing our workouts and just sharing in this experience. And that really, was a big game changer for me because I wasn't getting a lot of that support elsewhere. My husband was amazing, in that he was cheering me on, but, changing his habits and my boys' habits with my friends. I mean, it was a very slow process, and a lot of times I felt very alone in this journey. And so to know that I had these amazing ladies in my challenge group that were, going against the same struggles, experiencing a lot of the same experiences, was just an amazing comfort to know that I had that. And so, going through this 60-day challenge was the best experience that I ever could have had. And so me starting with P90X and Shakeology really was just the beginning for me. I have continued on, completing combat and getting amazing results. I found abs underneath that layer in my stomach, and just finding confidence that I can complete a program, it was an amazing feeling. And I am just so blessed that I was invited to do a challenge with my coach Kristen, and becoming a coach and getting the opportunity to inspire others has just been the best experience and a blessing in my life. And I'm so thankful that I took that plunge and said yes. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my experiences, and please let me know if I can do anything to help you get started on your journey. Thank you. Bye-bye.